Coach and I are going to do something a little different today. Stay tuned. It's happening next on the Coach's Meeting. Good morning. Good afternoon to those on the East Coast. This is the Coach's Meeting presented by the Sleeper app. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Grant. How are you?
Okay. I got to admit, I'm a little burnt out on what I do for a living. Like, I just feel like I wake up every day and do the same thing. I get on camera with you today, and there's a topic where I'm critical of Kyle Shanahan, and there's a topic where I'm looking for ways to criticize Brock Purdy. And I feel like I do it every day, and I've been doing it for years, and I feel like sometimes I'm just feeding into like the hot take zeitgeist, where people are trying to one up each other and find the most outrageous thing to say for money, for profit, for revenue. And you know what? I just feel like I'm done with that. I'm done. I don't want to play that game anymore. I'm retiring from the hot take business. I don't want to be the next Nick Wright. I don't want to be the next Skip Bayless, man. I just want to do fact-based, no feelings involved, facts over feelings, evidence-based, dry, sober analysis, no cursing, no yelling. Just the truth. I mean, are you down to do that?
You know, I too have been, paying attention to the temperament of my content. And, it's half glass empty, man. Debbie Downer,
How did we get here?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
We're just not happy with life, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's our own lives. Maybe it bleeds into our coverage.
And the Niners are doing so well that they put the mirror up.
Yeah.
We start projecting.
Right. So let's try our best to cut through all that and just give 49ers fans the objective, unbiased analysis that they're craving.
Right.
So let's start right here. Seriously, how good is Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy is elite. If you look at the numbers of what he's done this year, we don't have to go with what he's done this year. I mean, you can't talk about Brock Purdy without bringing up Brock Purdy's story. Okay. So first of all, you have to talk about the man. Okay. The road, the barrier to entry that it took to be picked last in the draft. Okay.
Yeah.
To get thrusted onto the field. All right. Not ready or prepared. Okay. And to assume leadership amongst a group of men who are vets, grizzled, jaded by their own process, and to be able to win the hearts and minds of not only the contemporaries around you, but your coaching staff, and dare I say, the nation at large.
Now,
there's really nothing you can say about Brock Purdy, just the man.
With all due respect, I got to stop you there because I feel like you're almost bordering on hot take disrespect. And I want to say what I mean. Like, you called him elite.
Okay.
I mean, that's the least you could say. Like, that goes without saying that he's elite. Like, it almost feels like you're saying he's in the same class as 7 or 8 other quarterbacks, which to me seems disrespectful. Like, Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in football. Full stop. Okay. He's number 1. Like, Patrick Mahomes, bunch of hype. Look at the numbers. The numbers are right there. Who has a higher quarterback rating this year?
Brock Purdy.
Who had a higher quarterback rating last year?
Brock fucking Purdy.
So to me, and I know you mean well, but I think it's fair to say, I think it's time to say that Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in the league, has been the best quarterback in the league. And if he stays on this current trajectory, he could get even better. Surefire Hall of Famer. Surefire first ballot Hall of Famer.
You know what? I like your style because you're cutting right to the root of the issue, right? Yeah. I was trying to, I was trying to maybe pettifog.
I understand because people aren't ready to hear this sometimes.
That's true. That's true. So I digress. Let me get back to it. Brock Purdy is possibly one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game.
That's
can we start there?
factually correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's verifiable.
There we go.
Yes.
So Patrick Mahomes, notwithstanding, because, you know, people are just prisoners of the moment, right? You really have to start looking at how Brock is really uncovering just the hypocrisy of what it is to evaluate true talent at the quarterback position, right? And to lead a team. I mean, if you guys honestly understand, you know, what Brock is showing us, this is one of one talent. This is a moment in football history where if you can't say you were there, right? Like 15, 20 years from now, when we all have children and we're in phases of our lives, we will all be able to say that we were here for the Brock Purdy era.
Right.
And why is football like this today, Grandpa? Well, you have to have been around when Brock Purdy first stepped into the helm at quarterback for the San Francisco.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes, Grandpa? He was good.
He was
pretty good. He was a good quarterback. You know, sure, he technically won 3 Super Bowls, maybe more at this point, but like, is that how are we really judging quarterbacks based on wins? Like, if you know ball and you watch film and you grind the tape and you look at the numbers, it's clear as day that Brock Purdy is, I mean, to put Brock and Patrick Mahomes in the same sentence is just a slap in the face to Brock. I mean, it's worse than a slap. It's a pie in the face. It's just so disrespectful, and I won't stand for it. I'm tired of hearing it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you look at just what it takes for the position to be updated, right? Like a rejuvenation of what today's 21st century quarterback looks like. You know, there's really nowhere else that you should search for outside of Santa Clara.
Does Brock have any weaknesses?
Absolutely not. I don't even understand why we didn't just start with his strengths, because there are no
people
weaknesses.
talk about his arm strength. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. First of all, arm strength doesn't matter. But second of all, he actually has extremely strong arm.
One thing that I like to say is that I think that Brock, I think in a way, now, far be it for me to go into his thought process, but I think that Brock sometimes doesn't throw the ball as hard as to throw off the defense. Right? So
to make them feel better.
Yes, because if we don't get Brock kind of, you know, holding back a little bit, right? The arm strength, the ridiculous athleticism, the judgment, the stature of standing in the pocket. I mean, if
how
Brock
many
didn't give us
potential
that,
sacks does he just shrug off with a stiff arm? You know what I mean?
Yeah, if Brock doesn't,
he's like a combination of Ben Roethlisberger. I want to say he's a combination of Ben Roethlisberger, Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and Johnny Unitas.
Yeah,
I would have to say,
I mean, right, and then with a little bit of Vic, obviously,
for sure,
with the elusive ability, you've got to, right,
definitely, and the arm strength,
right. So, right now,
but for like the brain of Peyton Manning.
Well. Do we have to go that far? Maybe Tom Brady?
I'd have to give him the Tom.
Hold on. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning combined. Brock
right. And the aura of Joe Montana for sure. Except if Joe Montana were better looking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's where we are.
So all right. So we disagreed on that one, but we found some common ground. Let me ask you this one. This is a serious question. Okay. How good is Kyle Shanahan? Just how good is he?
I mean, how long is the show? Dude, first of all,
where do you stand on Kyle? I need to know.
A leader.
I don't want anyone like riding the fence, okay? Where do you are you in or you out?
All right, dude, I'm gonna get emotional. So just calm down. Okay, so this guy, you want to talk about a leader. You want to talk about accountability.
There it is. There it is. The A word.
Grant, you take it.
Here's the thing about Kyle. I hear people say, he's the second best head coach in the league, as if Andy Reid is obviously better than Kyle. It really pisses me off. I stay up at night fuming because most people think Kyle Shanahan isn't the best coach in football when he clearly is. Clearly is. Like, Andy Reid gets to coach Patrick Mahomes, who isn't quite as good as Brock Purdy. But Kyle developed Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that is more impressive than whatever Andy Reid has done with Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes came developed. He was ready to go, even though they sat him on the bench for a year. Purdy needed Kyle's direct coaching, and that's why Purdy's so good. Kyle is clearly better than Andy Reid, who's, to me, one of the more overrated coaches in sports.
Well, definitely. My biggest thing right now is that we just have to look at the rest of the league. I mean, over half of the league is copying the man's system, right?
Mm-hmm.
No
one's copying Andy Reid's system.
Nobody. He streamlined the entire offense. I mean, right now he's gracious enough to hire his father to keep him busy in the building. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Multiple coaches around the league have learned directly from his offense, and to this day have all still been trying to just simply utilize it, right? I mean, I don't think there's anybody that's actually shown success with this offense outside of Kyle.
It's not like you can show me an example of someone sort of being around him, memorizing the scheme, taking it somewhere else, putting their own spin on it and succeeding. You can't show me one example of that.
No, I don't think that there's anybody else. Honestly, as far as success is concerned, there's nobody that's even sniffed the playoffs or a Super Bowl that's ran this offense or that have been inside of Kyle's enclave. Like, there's really been nobody, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like, in a way, you kind of look at it as like Nick Saban and all of his assistants. Like, they don't beat him. Mm-hmm. They don't beat them. Like, they completely become disheveled once they see the Yeezys in the flat brim from across the sideline. It's quite a task. And
I think what people don't understand is, like, on the Chiefs, the best coach on that team is Steve Spagnuolo. Andy Reid is just totally overrated. He's all hype. But Spagnuolo's great. But he's not the head coach. On the 49ers, Kyle is doing everything. He's the general manager. He's the head coach. He's the defensive coordinator. I mean, he's doing the best he can with the Steve Wilkses and the Nick Sorensens of the world. But really, like, Kyle is a one-man band in a way that no other coach is around the league. Andy Reid isn't doing it all like Kyle. And the fact that Kyle hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, to me, is completely insignificant. That's not what you play football for. It's about consistency. It's about stats. It's about highlights. And who has better highlights than the 49ers? Who has better stats than the 49ers? I mean, their DVOA, their CPOE, their OPP, and it's all off the charts. You know me.
Right. You're ridiculous. I will say, man, Kyle has done a great job with the team. As far as the running game, one thing that I do feel like he needs to stay on top of is utilizing the running game in pertinent parts of games. My biggest.
What
do you mean?
Did you just criticize Kyle Shanahan? Did you say something that he could do better? What?
Nah.
Dude, we're not doing that today. Who do you think you are? You think you know better than Kyle? You think you know better than Kyle?
No.
If let me make something real clear. If Kyle does something, makes a decision, that's the right call. And it's not just the right call, it's the smartest decision that there's ever been. How dare you?
Look, I get it. I get it. He's beyond reproach. All right.
If ever there was a coach who was beyond reproach, it's him.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. He's already a Hall of Fame coach.
Thank you.
If he stopped coaching, okay, so if he stopped coaching today, do you think Kyle would be a Hall of Fame coach? Absolutely.
If the Niners fired him today, the Chiefs would fire Andy Reid on the spot and hire Kyle Shanahan, as would the other teams. You thought it was a big deal when LeBron James was on the market? Just wait until there's the Kyle Shanahan sweepstakes. You'd have Dan Campbell fired. John Harbaugh, you're out. just for a chance to talk to Kyle.
100%.
That's just what it is. Facts over feelings.
Yo,
what?
No, man. I mean, I get it, man. I mean, the fans and the support that Kyle has is unmatched, and rightfully so. So we'll see as far as like how he moves forward, right?
I got a bonus question for you. In the same vein, so we agree that Brock Purdy's the best quarterback in the league. We agree that Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in the league. Underrated, both of them. So why haven't the Niners won a Super Bowl yet? Especially just since Kyle Shanahan's been here. Like, how do you explain this?
The 49ers already won a Super Bowl. They just haven't chosen to show us the trophy that they've gotten for it yet. That's what this is. I'll say, like, I get the tenor of the show is obviously what we're doing. But to be honest with you, Grant, I don't think that they feel like they haven't won it. I feel like they operate as if they've already been in the Super Bowl. Their true fans understand why they should have won, and that's good enough for them. I think
they were better than the Chiefs last year. They were the best team in the league last year.
Yeah. I think that they're entrenched as far as like how they all believe about the team. And I don't even think it's like the entire team, but I do believe that there's a core faction inside the team of players that believe that they're the reason why they win. So if they don't win, the other circumstances are the reason why they didn't win. Like they can never deal with the fact that they weren't good enough that day, right? The only star, in my opinion, that actually shows any type of, pragmatism during a loss is Nick Bosa. Like where he can be very forward with, hey, this is why we got our asses whipped. This is why we did not win. This is why we can't move forward. I don't know where he gets it from. He seems to have always had that note, but I will tell you this. This question right here is poignant because I believe that I don't think that Kyle feels like he hasn't won a Super Bowl. I don't feel like he does.
Well, he's basically won 3 in his career. He should have won one in Atlanta, and he should have won at least 2, probably 3 with the Niners. Mm-hmm. And to me, like the only reason he hasn't is bad luck or blatant cheating by the league and the refs. I mean, let's go back to 2019. Nick Bosa got held in 3rd and 15. Boom, that's cheating. The league didn't want Kyle Shanahan to be a champion. He can't control that. And then Brock Purdy gets hurt. That's bad luck. Kyle Shanahan can't control that. And then last year in the Super Bowl, like they were the better team. Now, technically they lost the game, but like, does one game really determine who the best team is?
And let's be honest, like, and all right, we joke about Coach Wilkes being a scapegoat, but that was a real thing for them. They were talking about it. Yeah. Right. Like that's a real excuse that they used as we didn't really have the best guy at that position. And Kyle had to take over the defensive game plan to kind of get that thing going. So we almost kind of played with one hand behind our back there. Like they leaned into that. They leaned into the rules. They leaned into the refs,
Dude, Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Like
can we stop pretending like that's not a factor? It's clearly a factor.
It's Taylor freaking Swift, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, man. Like, I just feel like this question, I hate to kind of like take control of the topic, but they don't feel like they haven't won. They don't move like they have.
Because they have. I mean, like, why haven't they won? It's nothing that they've done wrong. It's the refs. It's Taylor Swift. It's general bad luck. It's the fact that, there's no 7-game series in football. It's just one game and the ball bounces funny ways in any given Sunday. I mean, that doesn't change the fact that they've been the best team in the league for quite a long time. And even though they're 3-3 right now, that doesn't change the fact either. They could go 6-11 this year. That would not change the fact that they've been
during
the
a
best
huge
team
loss.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Grant. During a huge loss, when, if ever, have you ever heard Kyle be so upset with the loss that he's willing to put it on himself and say, this one's on me, man. Like, I got to be better. There were parts
I
during
don't
this
think he's
game
ever
where
I don't think it's ever been on him. I think he always does the best job. And sometimes there's bad luck. I wouldn't even see there's bad execution. I think the Niners have the best execution, the best coaching weekly, and they just can't control luck. It's just one of those things. Injuries,
right,
luck, happenstance.
like we put it this way, like we criticized the last play of the Super Bowl and the way it came out as far as like explanations are concerned from Kyle was process, right?
Mhm.
He answered it as an offensive coordinator, right? But you weren't asking him as an offensive coordinator. You were asking him as a head coach. Like, tell me about the decision to go there, not what went wrong, right? Tell me why this happened. Like, and I feel like he's never going to stand flat-footed and have that cathartic moment where he'll say, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have pulled the guard on the goal line over Chris Jones. Like, you know, we can talk about whose fault it was, whether it was John Feliciano's not John Feliciano, but whether it was Spencer Burford's job to do that. But my thing is that there is a point where the point man has to come in and say, well, before we even get into the job, it was my decision to send it in. Right. And I don't think that we should have sent that in at that moment. So I'm still looking for moments like that from Kyle. And trust me, this season, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him to talk about why the team didn't succeed. So I think that's something that is the reason why they haven't won a Super Bowl is because they truly have baggage, right? They haven't gotten over the losses, right? Because you got to own them. And the reason why you have to own them is because you have to have closure, right? So you can move on and re-identify yourself. And what's emblematic of them not winning a Super Bowl is that they haven't grown. They haven't changed into something new. The biggest wrinkle that has happened to this regime moving forward is Christian McCaffrey coming here, right? Christian McCaffrey kind of changed everything as far as their process is concerned. But not winning the Super Bowl under Kyle Shanahan is that I just feel like they caught onto a process. They became very good at it because they caught the league in a position where they weren't ready for their physicality, their brand of football, and they keep reduxing it, keep repurposing it, and they're not evolving.
I'm sorry. I gotta mute you right there. All I heard was hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take, hot take. The Niners owning their mistakes. What are you talking about? What mistakes? They're the best team in the league. They don't make mistakes. I really was hoping we wouldn't do, but hey, you know what? Someone's got to represent that side of the 49ers discourse. This is not going to be me today because I'm not feeding into it. I'm sorry. Not feeding into Niners criticism, Niners hot takes, own their mistakes. What? Never heard of it. Ricky Rich says 209 says Grant Shanahan has a nice ring to it. Take it back. That's blasphemous. Kyle Shanahan is way beyond
Grant
anyone.
Shanahan does have a nice ring to it.
Take it back. No, I'll take it. Thank you very much. I'm blushing. Helperman 123 says DEI League versus Mr. Irrelevant. Who's going to win? I don't understand. I'm going to win. Jared Owens says this show's too serious. I hate how much you guys support and defend Kyle. Am I doing it right? Hey man, it's facts over feelings, dude. It's not really how you feel. I'm sorry. These are just numbers, evidence. Juan Jimenez says, will Tang be a Hall of Fame? Tang, 8-time Pro Bowler, earned first All-Pro 2023. When you do the Tang jersey giveaway, can you wear it on stream and go in motion?
Are you doing the Tang jersey giveaway?
I should. Yeah, that'll be next. I think yes. I think he's clearly a Hall of Famer, which is why I need to watch my freaking mouth. Eisen says, Grant, can you wish my brother Elver Galarraga from SGCA a happy birthday? Elver, happy birthday. All right, let's do some sleeper picks, man. Hold on. Before we get back to our extremely unbiased, dry show about the 49ers. Okay. Niners Chiefs, sleeper pick time. Where do you want to start? What looks good to you? What looks juicy?
Okay. George Kittle.
Okay.
He's been turning on in the red zone. So I would go with touchdowns, yes, over receptions.
Okay, I like that. All right, where are we going next?
Let's go Travis Kelce. What's his touchdowns? Yes. I'd go that for a plus.
All right. Who we going next?
Deebo Samuel, if they got targets, bang that thing.
I don't think they have targets, but they have receptions.
What a reception. Yes.
4.5.
Yes.
He's getting it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Butker, Ayuk, Mahomes, Purdy, Jordan Mason, Juju.
Let's go with well, Jamon Jennings isn't playing. Is that for sure?
It's not for sure yet. We'll find out in a couple hours.
Let's go Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, rushing touchdowns, anytime touchdowns, receptions, rushing attempts. Yards?
Put him up there. Yep.
Okay. 52.5? Yeah, I'd say more.
How many more picks do we have?
We got 3 more.
Okay.
Ayuk, Mahomes, Butker, Purdy.
Let's go Mason. Mahomes.
Okay.
245 passing yards. Go lower. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game.
I agree. Less on the yards. Okay. Purdy?
Yeah, let's go Purdy. Less.
Okay. Good defense. One more. Butker, Mason.
Let's go BA.
BA. All right. They're blocking certain things, but we can do touchdown, not yards.
Okay.
Will he have his first touchdown of the year this game? How about that?
That's so crazy. Isn't that wild?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's give it to him. Yeah.
How confident are you?
Not confident at all.
Let's give it to him, though. All right, those are the picks. I'm locking them in. I'm going to flex it, submit the entry. If you guys want to play, download the app, use promo code Cohn, and get instantly entered to win 2 tickets to next week's game against the Cowboys, and enter to win a signed Ricky Pearsall jersey. That's 2 tickets to the Week 8 game against the Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, and a signed Ricky Pearsall jersey. Download the app, enter to win today. Use promo code Cohn. Okay, back to our show. We don't know for sure. It's possible Juwan Jennings won't play. He's having a hell of a season. Big shoes to fill. If he doesn't play against the Chiefs, I mean, this guy was money in the Super Bowl. Who should play more than they normally do? Who should fill in the gap?
Eric Saubert.
I like that. I like that very much. Why?
Because I think the Niners need to commit to the run game more. And also they need to lean into what Brock does very well, which is what his elite trait is, which is processing, being able to get the ball out quick, get the ball to short, intermediate passes, which, to be honest with you, is an extension of the run game, right? So for me, I just think that having Eric Saubert in the game gives you another willing blocker, right? He does bring a level of physicality to the game that I think the Niners need to start tapping into more. Also, it's week 7, which means that I don't think that we're necessarily in shape yet. We're kind of there, right? We're at the quarter pole of the season, but I'd like to carry on with that. I think Eric Saubert brings a lot of tenacity on the edges, and it's an opportunity for us to really hold the Chiefs by the belt buckle and keep them in close. I mean, this game is going to be fought in the phone booth. So we might as well own it right away. So Eric Saubert is my guy.
It's a great pick. I'm going to respectfully push back and nominate someone else, but I think this is a great one. Eric Saubert. Anytime you could play Eric Saubert 50 snaps, 60 snaps, you want to do that for obvious reasons. Like, he's such a good blocker. And I mean, just having him on the field as a threat goes a long way. But I would say someone in that same vein, but I think it's an even better player because he's more versatile. Like, he can block, but he can also go in motion. He can go left to right, right to left. I think Kyle Juszczyk, he's a guy who normally plays 50, maybe 60% of the snaps. I think this is an opportunity for him to play 100% of the snaps. You know, I mean, I don't think they should ever take him off the field because their offense is just impossible to stop when he's out there. I mean, he is the element that you can't stop. He's the X factor. And just his presence alone opens up everything in the run game, play action, drop back. I mean, morale, confidence. I think this is a great opportunity to have more Kyle Juszczyk on the field.
I would agree. I mean, my thing is that if you understand what I'm saying is that The reason why I want Eric Saubert on the field is because I know George Kittle will be on the field with him, right?
I love that.
Not Eric Saubert alone, but
right.
Me knowing that Eric Saubert is on the field is knowing that the Niners are going double tight, the Niners are going overload, the Niners are going veer. They're using a lot of their physical big formations that I love that they do because it forces these guys to get the best out of them. Sometimes, this sounds inhumane, but when I played, if you were an offensive lineman and you couldn't keep your hands together, your hands would get tied together. You see what I'm saying? And it sucked. It was horrible, but it forced you to keep those palms in, right? Where you had to go through a whole period with your hands tied. And sometimes you got to tie these guys into process. You got to tie them there and make them do it, okay? And then once you untie it and kind of loosen up, at least they know how to do it. And I just think that they need to get tied into a lot more physical formations that forces them to play football a certain way.
How about this? First offensive play of the game. Here's a personnel grouping. Kittle at tight end. Saubert at tight end, off the ball. Juszczyk at fullback. Debo at running back. Jordan Mason, that awful fumbler, on the bench. Ayuk at wide receiver. 22 personnel. What do you think of that?
I think that's horrible.
Because to me, like Jordan Mason, like anyone could run in the 49ers offense. And this guy is the only reason they lost to the Cardinals a couple of weeks ago, because he fumbled. No one else made mistakes in that game. It was 100% his fault. Mm-hmm. He is definitely the only reason they've lost any games. And I think you take him off, put Saubert on there, keep Juszczyk on there, Debo at running back. I like that. I
think that really, if you're looking at the true hidden weapon on this team, is Kyle Juszczyk at X.
Yeah, no doubt.
Where it really is gonna. That's. I mean, honestly, you think about the money that they pay him, and you say, God, $5 million for a fullback that barely plays, like that's not enough. But we've been looking at this all wrong.
Yeah,
the $5 million is for not putting him in all of the best opportunities on what he could be, right? So it's an apology that we're paying him this money because we know, and Kyle knows, Juszczyk that is, if he was at X, he'd be getting $30 million. If he himself was at left tackle, he'd be getting $30 million a year. Yeah. The least we can do is lighten his load and pay him for the load that he has, right? So, I mean, look, Kyle Juszczyk, man, he's a freak athlete. He's a freak athlete.
He's arguably the best athlete on the team.
Arguably.
Yeah, excuse me. That's on me. See, I slip back into old patterns sometimes.
Yeah,
he's for sure the best athlete on the team.
What it really gets into is that's why a guy like Kyle Juszczyk goes to Harvard. I mean, Can you imagine if that type of talent was at Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson? It
would have been too easy. He would have been scouted and everyone would have known, but he wanted to take the hard way.
Come on, bro. Kyle Juszczyk would be the number one pick in the draft, right? And that's all she wrote. He's really just trying to live a life of modesty, humility, right? And I feel like he's found a good place to do that at fullback. It's the least he can do.
And it's like not just more snaps for Juszczyk, more targets, more carries. Like that's your go-to guy. Remember when Rob Gronkowski a couple of weeks ago said the Niners don't have an it guy? Baloney. His number is 44. His name is Kyle Juszczyk. He's just been held back. And I'm not going to criticize Kyle Shanahan here. You thought I was going to say Kyle Shanahan has no. He's been held back by circumstance.
Yeah,
for years. It's no one's fault. No one is at fault. Everyone has done the right thing. And the fact that Juszczyk hasn't gotten the ball is just one of those things. And now he's getting the ball. It's going to be good for the offense. But if he doesn't get the ball, it's good for the offense too. Either thing is good for the offense.
How gracious is Kyle Juszczyk the way he reaches out to the media and the fans?
Oh,
I mean,
goes without saying.
You know, politics is in his career down the
Oh
road.
my goodness. And yet he's so authentic. Fish and Chip says, I personally have won 9 Super Bowls, Kyle Shanahan not beaten me. I believe it. I believe it. M. Bravo says, does Kyle know the overtime rules now? Excuse me? That is such a hot take with no verifiable evidence. He said, hold on. Did he not say he knew the rules? He said he knew the rules.
Yeah.
He said he knew the rules. So that means he knew the rules.
If there's rules, Kyle knows them.
Yeah. And if he didn't, he would have said so. Fish and Chip says, I want to see No Juice do long snapper and punt. You think he can't do that? And why would you call him No Juice? I don't understand. Okay. Let's get into the game. If the 49ers beat the Chiefs on Sunday, tell me what the reason will be for the victory. Why will the Niners win if they do?
All right. So I got the Niners win in 2017. I think they actually care about this game. And, it is what it is. They can say that they've lost to this team in a Super Bowl and that, this isn't a Super Bowl win. But in my opinion, there's a lot of familiar names over there that these guys know. On top of it, Kyle gets out coached when they play the Chiefs. That's the common denominator of all of these games. I think they care. This game is a shot in the arm. They need this. And I honestly believe that we're going to see their best shot. We'll see their best shot this week. We'll see what they come with this week. And I think that their pride won't let them lose this game. I think that they know the Chiefs. On top of it, the Chiefs, offensively, they're missing a lot of good guys that pose to be problems for us. And Isaiah Pacheco's down. They've lost multiple guys. They lost multiple guys in who's the receiver that's down that I'm not? Rashay Rice is down. Yeah. And in my opinion, one thing that I think that we're going to notice is our offensive line has not been good playing against the Chiefs. All right. And one of the biggest things is that we haven't had any interior physicality with them at all. I mean, Chris Jones not only is the best, right? One of the best at what he does, but being the best at what you do and being able to go literally up and down the offensive line and find a likely opponent is a huge problem for us. I think that Dominic Pooney really helps our offensive line. If you go by the numbers, even in the games we've lost, offensive line hasn't been the best. They've had some bad games. They gave up 6 sacks against Minnesota. But outside of those 6 sacks, Grant, it's only been 12 sacks total, all right, for the whole season. And in those 6 sacks, Brock wasn't the best, all right? So he could have done better. I think that, dude,
I can't co-sign that, but keep going. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Yeah, I think that Kyle and the rest of this team understand what this win can do for them carrying into the bye week. And if they lose this game, I just don't think that they have anything to cling on to going into the bye week. They got to win this game. I think this one is important for them. They're lying if they say that they don't have this game circled on their calendar.
To me, it's real simple why the Niners are going to win this game. First of all, they're going to win the game 35-13. And the reason they're going to win by that much is that they're flat out better than the Chiefs. Simple, man. They've been better than the Chiefs. They are better than the Chiefs. They have the better quarterback. They have the better running back. They have the better wide receivers. They have the better tight end. I mean, Kelsey doesn't even block. They have everything about the. Maybe the Chiefs have a better offensive line. Maybe the Chiefs have a better D-line. Maybe, but the Niners are better at linebacker. Maybe the Chiefs are better on special teams. But the Niners are just an objectively better team. And the only reason the Chiefs have beaten them is Bill Vinovich. I'm saying it. Bill Vinovich, that ref, he's got to be in their pocket, man. I mean, every freaking time the Niners play him, that guy's making calls. It doesn't make any. He's never called.
He's all over the place.
He's never called a holding penalty on that, and not one. And now he's not going to be. It's finally going to be even and fair with the refs and without Bill. Bill Vinovich has been their MVP in every single matchup. Now it's going to be 11-on-11 football, and the Chiefs can't win that way. We know they can't win that way. Never have.
You son of a Vinovich.
Yeah, that's right. Look, I had to go there. People, that, you know what? It's not a hot take though. It's just a fact. Look up the numbers. Bill Vinovich, man.
Yeah, I think I think they will win this game. It's important for them to win this
I know
game.
they will.
Yeah, I know they'll win this game too.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what
I
they
ran
do.
the numbers.
Yo, but my biggest thing for them coming into this game is, you know, they got to find a way to win. They're not perfect right now, and I think this is exactly where they need to be. You know, styles make fights. They've been one of the calling cards of this team is that they always want to be at their best for their best shot. And that's not realistic. The Chiefs weren't at their best shot when they beat us last year. They were a shell of themselves in many ways. They kind of pieced together their team offensively, got together. They've always had an elite defense, but the way they play us is that they rely on themselves, right? They go man across the board. They blitz us. They dictate to us. They don't care about what we're doing. And I think that the Niners, we have lost just a little bit of, how can I say? We've lost a little bit of our access as far as like having Christian McCaffrey there, as far as our weapons, where we don't have as many options, right? It's kind of like when you're in a fight and you got a weapon, it's like, dude, you got a guy with a hammer and he's going at you, but you got a sword and a ninja star and a slingshot. And it's just like, and you're like, well, what should I use? It's like, no, this dude's swinging a hammer at you, bro. Like you need to just grab whatever you have and start fighting as well. I think we get paralysis by analysis. We get caught trying to use all of our bells and whistles when, you know, the Chiefs just come at us and just blow us up with a sledgehammer. So I think that us not having, you know, maybe the most versatile attack can help us in a way. It can streamline us on what we need to do.
Yeah, and once again, now that McCaffrey's out and Jennings could be out as well, this allows Kyle Shanahan to finally focus the offense around the fullback. And I fully expect Kyle Juszczyk to be the tip of the spear, as you like to say, to be like the driving force, the force multiplier, as Jesse Naylor likes to say. The reason the 49ers win big this week. I'm thinking 3 touchdowns for Juszczyk. Okay, if by some crazy turn of events, the 49ers somehow lose to the Chiefs again, what will be the reason for it?
I don't even know how this topic made it into the show. But
we got to address the hot take artists out there. We all know who they are. And you know they're talking about like there's a chance the Niners might lose this game. So let's humor them for them. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. Even though they're completely intellectually dishonest and just saying things for money.
Okay. So
unlike us, because when people watch us, it's not like there's going to be 18 different commercial breaks on YouTube. This is like the NPR of 49ers talk. Go ahead.
If the 49ers lose to the Chiefs, it'll be because of special teams, in my opinion. I think that the 49ers, they always have blunders on special teams, whether it's long returns on punt and kickoff returns, blocked punts, missed kicks, not having a kicker ready when your kicker goes down. It's just everything that's been happening with special teams, fumbling punt returns, not keeping your feet on kickoff. And I just think that they need to find a guy that they trust to put back there, because it just shows that when we play teams that we need to beat, we do have lapses in judgment and lapses in focus, rather, not judgment, but lapses in focus. And it seems to happen during special teams, right? Not being able to take advantage of Mitch Wisnowski giving us phenomenal fields with his punts against the Seattle Seahawks, right? Not knowing that we need to be able to get guys on the ground and keep our kicker out of tackling endeavors on kickoff return, right? Being able to block the up man on punt, not letting the up man back there. I'm looking at you, Robert Bill Jr. You know, so it's gonna be for me the in between, right? You know, the plays that we're sitting here going to go grab a beer and you're saying, oh, this is just a kickoff, let's get back to the action. Then it's, oh my God, a fumble. So I think that the details are what are going to get us if we lose this game. Not necessarily like big plays.
Yeah, it's not just that you can argue. The one reason the Niners lost the Super Bowl this last year, besides bad luck, is Ray McCloud. I mean, Darrell Luter Jr., ball hits him in the leg, fine. Ray McCloud tries to scoop it up and run. It's 100% his fault. If they had Trent Taylor on that team, they win the Super Bowl last year. That's where we're at. So I'm with you on that. And I think just bigger picture, just turnovers in general are the only way the Niners lose to the Chiefs, because they're a better team than the Chiefs. So they can only beat themselves. And every time the Niners have faced the Chiefs, there's been multiple turnovers. So the turnovers are going to be the reason if they lose, that they lose. And let's say Brock throws an interception or two. It won't be Brock's fault, just to be clear. Like if he throws a pick, it's going to be either the fault of the receiver who didn't run the right route, or it was tipped, or bad luck. We're never putting it on Brock. But let's say Jordan Mason fumbles, then it's his fault. Or let's say it's Jacob Cowing or Ricky Pearsall. It's 100% their fault. But there's really nothing Brock Purdy can do to generate any criticism from this game, because he has established himself as a surefire Hall of Famer. He's done enough. So he's beyond reproach. But man, anyone on special teams makes a mistake. Any running back makes a mistake. Anyone who hasn't gotten paid makes a mistake, it's their fault.
If anybody needs to prove themselves on who the better quarterback in this game, it will be Patrick Mahomes. And the only reason, if the fallout in the numbers would be if Patrick Mahomes actually bested Brock Purdy, it will be because Brock let him have this type of day, because Patrick needs this on his record. I mean,
he let him win the Super Bowl.
Dude, don't say that online.
I mean,
we all
Brock
know
Purdy
the truth, Grant, but you just can't. It's too real,
Brock Purdy's the most well-adjusted person in the world. He doesn't need a Super Bowl victory to be happy. Okay? He's sponsored by Cohn. Patrick Mahomes has a deep pit in his soul that he can never fill. And he tries to fill it with Super Bowl victories, but he's never going to get there. He's never going to have the inner peace that Brock has. And Brock understands that and is trying to, help.
Those rings won't get you to Brock Purdy level. No matter how many rings you get, Patrick Mahomes, I just want him to understand this. No matter how many MVPs, no matter how many Super Bowls, okay? No matter how, even the Hall of Fame, you can try your best. You're never gonna get there.
Real ball knowers know. Real ball knowers understand that MVPs, Super Bowl victories, those are not advanced stats. Like if it doesn't have 3 or 4 letters in a row that you can't pronounce, then it doesn't matter. If it's not CPOE, if it's not DVOA, if it's not EPA, then it really doesn't matter. I mean,
if it's not Run DMC.
Thank you. You understand. I mean, Super Bowls and MVPs is a very archaic way to judge quality. And like in 2024, I will stand for it.
Yeah.
I only look at the players Run DMC from now on. I only look at the players Run DMC or OPP from now on.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. How can I explain OPP? How can I explain it? I'll take it frame by frame it. No, I'll just stop right there.
Go ahead, bro.
Yaz Williams says, Grant, I watch you and not the sheets for a reason. Are you not enjoying the show? This is what you want. This is the kind of coverage you want. Am I wrong? This works. This sells. Juan Jimenez says Niners win if Tank gets 20 touches, 14 carries. That's what I'm saying. 20. Why stop at 20? Fish and Chip says over under Anders Carlson tackles. 0.5. Man, if he has to make a tackle.
Yeah.
If he has to make a tackle in this game, is it time to fire the head coach? I mean, not the head coach, never that. The special teams coordinator, because everything is his fault. If you have to acknowledge that something's wrong with this team, it's 100% Brian Schneider's fault.
Dude, if Carlson gets hurt by a tackle, bro, I will fall out of my chair laughing, bro. That's 3 kickers, bro. 3.
Okay. Well, that show was really a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I don't know that I'll be able to ever do it again. It took every fiber of my being to commit to it, but I think that's what people want. So I'm going to try it from now on and see how long it takes for my soul to be completely crushed.
This was a very interesting premise to do a show on. I took for granted how difficult that it would be once we started. But
I can commit to a bit for years. Years. Okay.
Who are you, Kaiser?
45 minutes is nothing.
I took for granted how hard this was going to be. Yeah, they want you back.
I don't think I can compete with the super homers on their turf. They're just better.
Positive Grant was freaking me out today. I did not like it, bro.
I was trying to get that like condescending tone and like that like don't think for yourself attitude that is so prevalent and I love so much. Why would you trust your eyes when I can just tell you that something is different and maybe give you a stat or maybe not?
Dude, like anything goes. Anything goes. Comment is perfect. The forced praises is weird. Like the forced praise was like, I was getting secondhand embarrassment, dog. It was killing me, bro. Like,
yeah, you're like blushing. Juan Jimenez is the Tang jersey giveaway is gonna be fire. Yeah, I think I need to do that like ASAP. Dude, let me look on pristine auction right now. Let me look.
You got to do Tang's jersey. You know what you got to do?
What?
You got to get the jersey with Tang on it.
Oh, how do I get Tang on it?
You can get like official jerseys.
Oh no, that'd be so funny. They're selling signed use check jerseys right now, but
you should do it. Get it with the Tang. Take off the use check and put Tang on the back and sell that jersey. Do you know how many people will want that jersey, bro? Like, think about it, dog.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. People in the chat, if I made a Tang jersey 44, would you be interested? Anyone interested?
Yes.
TO, plugged in TV. All right.
Yes.
Going down. Thank you for the idea.
Stop, Harris. Get out of here.
I got the idea for this show at like 5:30 in the morning. I wasn't sleeping so good. And I was like, you know what? You
hit me with this.
To switch up my whole approach.
Yeah, you're like, yo, I got an idea for tomorrow's show. Be ready.
I was like looking at my phone this morning and I saw someone being like, it was like the whole like Brock Purdy, is he like underrated? And someone's like, I think he's really good. And I don't care. There's too much Brock hate. Like, what Brock hate? Like, I want to do that from now on. Be like, I'm tired of people disrespecting Brock.
It's such you know what it is? That is such an easy show to do though. Like, you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of all of the haters. All of the people not realizing who Brock is, man. They just don't get it, man. It's such an easy show to do, bro. Like,
and then you got to throw in there, like, you know what? He's pretty relevant now, isn't he?
Yeah. We're all those, hey. We're all those people around the draft that didn't believe in him then. Where all those guys at? It's like, we're here. We're here. We changed our minds a little bit. Yeah, we're still here. Like you didn't know. Stop acting like you knew. You didn't know. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to be the first to say it. I don't care what anyone says. I think Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to be the first to say it. Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. He's good.
He is a good quarterback.
No, I'm the only person that's got the cojones to actually say it. Brock is good.
I want you to commit to it right now on stream. Are you gonna make the Tang jersey?
Well, I think I have to because it'll save this guy's marriage.
Yes, you
gotta. How much? I'll do it. I think I need to,
bro.
Tang.
It's gonna be like a one-off. Like 30 years from now, people are gonna be like, "Yo, who's Tang?" Like, yo, it's a long story.
It's a long story. It may or may not be a good one, but you had to be there. Anyway,
yes.
Thanks for watching. I can't say that it was a great show. It's probably not the kind of show I would like to watch, but I enjoyed doing it, and I think that's what matters. Well, no, what matters is that it was done. It happened.
Yeah, we did it, bro. Yeah. I mean, we struck out and tried something different. It is what it is. That's what YouTube is for, bro.
It is what it is. Niners practice in an hour and a half. We'll find out about Juwan Jennings soon. Coach, thank you very much. And everyone in the chat, thank you. Stay tuned for that Tang jersey and download the Sleeper app and use promo code for that tickets to the thing on the next week, the Cowboys game. Bye. Tang.